Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video about how I buy and resell my textbooks. I know that this is an issue in college that a lot of kids deal with, where textbooks are kind of the deal breaker as far as like sticking to a budget goes, and maybe like, that's the make or break of, getting all of your rent money together. And so I by no means have dealt with quite that much struggle. My parents do help me with a lot of things, but I do buy and rent my textbooks used usually, and I also have found ways to resell them that are very helpful. So I wanted to go through some of that with you guys today. The biggest thing I think that helps me is I make a price comparison spreadsheet. And so I do this in Google Docs, but you also can do it on like Microsoft Spreadsheet or that pre-programmed like one on Mac where it's a spreadsheet essentially. You can also use that. And so we're going to switch to my computer screen for a minute. So this was my spreadsheet from this last semester. As you can see here, I put down the class that the book is for, the title of the book, and the ISBN number. And those are the only things that are in here when I start looking. My go-to sites to find books are my university's bookstore, Amazon, Thrift Books, and Chegg. So I put those titles on the top, and then the rest of these columns would all be empty. So I put the class because I want to make sure that I have everything written down and recorded accordingly. And so I use my university's website, which tells me which books to get, and I make sure to have all of that in here, and I always double check and make sure I'm not missing a book, because trust me, it's very frustrating when you miss a book and then you get partway through the semester and realize that you now don't have the book that you need for the next section of class. So I put all of that down, and I put down the titles, but the ISBN number is honestly the most important thing. So make sure that you get the ISBN number for the books and you have it in here. So then I copy and paste the ISBN number into the search bar on each of these websites. So say that we are going to Amazon. So then I can take the ISBN number and I can put it into the Amazon search bar. And there's the Odyssey, which is the book that I needed for my Greek and Roman myth class. And then within Amazon, you can always buy the new version, you can hit buy used, you can buy hardcover audiobook, Kindle versions. So if you are able to buy electronic books, I believe that will save you some money, but then also remember that you can't resell a electronic book. So if you are interested in reselling your books, you don't want to like keep them after the class, you won't think you have to reference them or anything, then you could look into buying ebooks. But on here, you can always buy used, so you can select the condition, etc. Looks like it's only acceptable for the Odyssey. Even though you can buy used books on Amazon, my absolute favorite site, especially for buying novels, is Thrift Books. So on Thrift Books, you can also copy and paste in ISBN numbers into the search bar. And then it'll bring up the book that the ISBN number is for. And it looks like their paperbacks are out of stock on the Odyssey currently, but you can do hardcover, mass paperback, collectibles, etc. And so say we want a mass paperback. You can use this drop down and you can select what book you want. So missing dust jacket means that it would be like when you took the cover off your hardcover Harry Potter book. And then X library means there'll be little things on the spine like that have the Dewey Decimal number for the library. Honestly, X library though is usually a pretty good deal because you tend to get hardbacks with that, and as long as you're fine with dealing with the little sticker there, they're usually in pretty good condition. So I buy a lot of Extra Library. There's always free shipping in the US. So if you're in the US, I highly recommend using Thrift Books. And their shipping is pretty quick. You'll get it within 2 weeks. And that kind of brings me to my next point about my spreadsheet, which is that I put down the date that I order the book and I put down the date that I get it. This is because certain websites, like third parties selling used on Amazon and Thrift Books, every once in a while a book gets lost in the mail. And so you want to keep track of when you ordered them and when they arrived, and then for sure keep your email order confirmations and things like that, because if the book doesn't arrive, you want all that information to be able to say, I ordered this book, this version of it, etc. And it hasn't arrived, and then you want to be able to have the tracking number to say that it says that it's here, but you know, whatever, and be able to call thrift books or call that third party through Amazon or call Amazon or whatever and make sure that you get your money back or you get another copy. Chegg is similar to thrift books. They tend to be a lot more textbook oriented, so you can get textbooks on thrift books and you can also get novels on Chegg. But thrift books is what I tend to go for as far as novels go, and then Chegg tends to be where I go for textbooks, just because they're more likely to be in those locations. And then back to the spreadsheet. The other thing I do is I always check rental prices, especially if it's not a textbook I'm interested in keeping. I'll always check rental prices. And so you can see that for some of mine, I put the price, but it says rent next to it, and that just means that it's a rental textbook. It's not one that I will be allowed to keep after the class. So then I get all of my prices in here for every single book on every single site, and I highlight the one that I want to get. Then I go back to each website, so the one for my university bookstore, Amazon, Thrift Books, Chegg, and I put the books that are highlighted into my cart, which does mean that I have to put the ISBN number back in and go find it again to put it in my cart. And then I check out. That's pretty much it as far as buying, and then just make sure that they get there. Now I want to talk about resale, because this is where you save the most money, I think. So I tend to keep my favorite textbooks and novels from classes because I want to reread them or I'll want to reference them in the future. Even for like another class, sometimes I go back to old textbooks from a different class where I'm like, oh, we also talked about something related to this topic in this class. Let me go find that and I'll use that in my paper. So I do keep some of my textbooks, but if I do want to resell them because I bought them, I use two things. I use a resale app, and then I also use local Facebook groups. So as far as Facebook groups, a lot of universities have groups for their students that are called like free and for sale, things like that. So say that you go to University of Illinois. It would be like University of Illinois or U of I maybe, free and for sale. And so find one of those Facebook groups and get yourself added to the page. And then you can post on there your books for sale. What I usually do is I go online and I look up prices that book would be if somebody were to buy it used from a website, and I drop the price like $2 so that I'm still making a amount of money that is reasonable for that book, but I'm their most appealing option because now they don't have to pay shipping, and even if the shipping on the website that is free somehow, I'm still giving them a better deal, and then I'm only out $2 myself. You could also only drop it like $1 or something if you want, if you really need the money, but just make sure that you're the most appealing option for people, and you'll be good to go. And also when you post it, say what class the book is used for, because sometimes people don't realize that that's the textbook they're looking for. And so put like, this is the book that, you know, Dr. Smith uses in Econ 306 or whatever it is. So that they know that's the textbook that they are looking for and that they need for that class. The other thing is the app I use. So the app is called Book Scouter. And so here it is. Unless for some reason you are unable to scan the barcode because of a sticker or something on the back of the book, you want to open the barcode scanner, and then it works like a camera and you hold it up to your book and it takes the ISBN number down for you. So then here's a list of all of the sites that are willing to buy your book. And sometimes it honestly says $0, and that's just because there's such a surplus, they are uninterested in buying your book. So then at this point you want to hit the Add Bookshelf button towards the top there, and then the book will be in your bookshelf. Then you can use the button in the upper right to see your bookshelf, and when you are here, you can then ask the app to email you your bookshelf, and this allows it to be easier to sell because now you can do it from your computer. So once you have the email on your computer, it'll have a list that is all of the books that you added to your bookshelf, and it'll have the sites that you can sell them on, like you saw on the app. And then I'm just saying to do this on your computer because it's a bit easier than like typing everything in on your phone. So then you go to the site and you tell them that you want to sell the book. If you're selling more than one book at a time, I'd recommend adding them all to the sites that you are going to sell them on before you tell any of the sites that you are done selling, because for some of them they don't give you free shipping to their warehouse unless you sell them a certain number of books. So for some books they might be worth more money on one site, but on a different site where they're worth, like 5 cents less, 10 cents less, they won't give you free shipping, and so you'll want to sell them on the site where you have free shipping. Otherwise you're going to end up losing money or making a lot less money in the long run. So then usually they give you a prepaid packaging label. So there's a sheet that you put inside the box, and then there's one that you put on the box that has the address and the fact that it is prepaid postage, and then you take that to USPS or UPS, whichever one the website uses. Make sure that you check that, and you just hand it off to the worker and they'll take it from there. And then usually once the package arrives at the warehouse and they double check that everything that you said you were selling them is in the box, they will send you money on PayPal. And so during the process, when you are telling them, I'm going to sell these books to you, when you are on their website, you'll have to put in your PayPal. And I have never not gotten paid by one of these websites. They have always given me the money for the books that I have sent them. And so I believe that those are the two easiest ways to resell your books, other than reselling to your own university bookstore if they rebuy books. But yeah, if you have any questions about how to buy or sell books or anything I've said here, please leave them below. If you would like more college how-to videos or thrifting videos or simming videos, because I apparently do all three, my channel is very eclectic, then please hit subscribe below, and I will see you on another Monday. Bye, guys.